Hey everyone, and thanks for tuning in to another Atlas Wellness webinar. This week we're talking about breakfast. Now is a great time to start thinking about breakfast as we continue with the theme of getting back into healthy routines. There's a lot of confusing information out there about breakfast in terms of what to eat, when to eat, or whether or not to even eat it. So I'm hoping today to clarify some of these questions from a science-based standpoint. We're told that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, but with all the diet trends out there, we're also told it's okay to skip it. So, which is it? Spoiler alert, as a dietitian, I am a huge proponent of breakfast, and I'll tell you why. Breakfast does a lot for us, even more so than other meals. Breakfast gives you energy to start the day. Think about the word itself, break fast. After going for long periods without eating, like the overnight fast that happens with sleep, the body's immediate energy sources can be greatly diminished. Specifically, our blood sugar that the brain and muscles depend on can run low. Breakfast is an important way to replete those fuel levels to supply the body and the brain and help get us going for the day. With this, it makes sense that eating breakfast helps to improve focus and cognitive function, including memory and concentration. The brain uses glucose as its primary fuel source, so breakfast is key in maintaining its levels in the blood. Studies also show that breakfast is an important part of weight control. Specifically, eating breakfast has been associated with lower BMI and reduced risk of obesity. This is really an important point that I think a lot of people have misconceptions about, so we'll talk more about this on the next slide. Studies have also found eating breakfast to be associated with better markers of health, like improved cholesterol and reduced risk of diabetes and heart disease. And finally, breakfast is a great opportunity to get in more nutrition. Traditional breakfast foods provide a variety of different vitamins and minerals, like fruit, eggs, dairy, whole grains. Let's dive a little deeper into the topic of breakfast and weight control. A lot of people skimp or skip breakfast altogether as a way to lose weight. Many diets and weight loss plans out there entail either cutting calories or restricting the time of day you eat to cut out that morning meal. However, skipping breakfast can actually have the opposite effect on weight. Studies have found skipping breakfast to be associated with a higher BMI and increased risk of obesity, despite eating fewer calories. Why is that? This has largely been attributed to the role of breakfast in appetite control. Studies show that people who eat breakfast engage in less impulsive eating and also eat less at later meals in the day. Skipping breakfast can leave you feeling hungry and leaves you susceptible to overeating later. This might mean munching on more calorie-dense snacks or eating a large lunch or dinner. Restriction of any kind in any meal can leave a person susceptible to overeating, but if this restriction happens so early in the day, then there's a much larger window for overeating to occur. All of this to say, breakfast is important and is certainly not the place to skimp. We know that breakfast matters, but not all breakfasts are equally beneficial. A healthy breakfast is important to help maximize the benefits you can gain, so let's talk more about what goes into a healthy breakfast. Think about the size of your meal. It should be large enough to give you enough calories, but not so large that you're overeating. How much is enough? Start by aiming for around 20% of your daily calorie intake. For most people, this might be around 400 to 600 calories. However, everyone is different, and so the best way to know how much is enough for you is by eating mindfully and tuning into your body throughout the day. Or, of course, you can ask a registered dietitian. A healthy breakfast is well balanced. As with all of your meals, try to include something from each of the food groups. You can use my plate, shown here, as a reference. Fruits and vegetables provide vitamins and minerals to help keep the body healthy, and they also have fiber to help keep us full for that appetite regulation piece. Think of fresh or frozen berries, canned fruit, or veggies to go in an omelet or scramble. Grains or other carbs are also very important for breakfast because they are the main energizing food in the morning. I mentioned one of the major roles of breakfast is to restore blood sugar levels in the morning to give the brain and body energy, and this fuel comes from carbohydrates. Aim for whole grains that will also give you fiber. Think of things like toast, tortillas, granola, oats, or a high-fiber cereal. Protein, including from dairy, is also really important in helping sustain our energy throughout the morning and keeping us full. Studies have found that having around 25 to 30 grams of protein at breakfast is optimal for the health benefits. Think eggs, nut butters, yogurt, cheeses, breakfast meats, whatever your favorites are. And finally, healthy fats are also important in helping control appetite, mainly by making us feel full. A lot of the foods we already mentioned have healthy fats in them, so think of dairy products or nuts or seeds, eggs, you could try avocado. But the most important thing to prioritize when planning for a healthy breakfast are the fiber and protein. These are what will help keep you full and energized throughout the morning. Here are a few examples. Remember, look for the fiber and the protein in each. So for the oatmeal, the fiber would be in the oats, the fruit, and this person also added chia seeds, and the protein would be in the nut butter. For a yogurt parfait, the fiber's in the fruit and the granola, and the protein in the yogurt. You could also try an omelet or a breakfast burrito or even a breakfast casserole and add veggies to it to get extra fiber. And finally, cereal. High fiber cereals make a great, easy breakfast. Just add berries or some fruit and some milk or milk alternative, and you have a complete meal. Despite its importance, there are a lot of things that can get in the way of a healthy breakfast. Let's take a moment to troubleshoot some of these barriers and look at some tips for fitting a healthy breakfast into your morning. Ideally, aim to eat within 1 hour of waking. A common reason for skipping breakfast is that some people just aren't hungry in the morning. Give yourself a little time to wake up and then see if you can get something down. Even if all you can manage is just a small snack, it's still better than nothing. It's important to break that fast and get your day going. If you do have problems with not being hungry, try holding off on your morning coffee. Try having it with or after breakfast so it doesn't affect your appetite or upset your stomach. If you're crunched on time in the morning, try meal planning and meal prepping. This doesn't have to be an extensive process. Just take a few minutes before you go to bed and think about what you'll have on hand and what you'll eat in the morning. If you have the capacity, meal prepping can be a real time saver. Plan out your breakfast menu, shop for all your ingredients, and make a breakfast you simply heat and eat. Freezable breakfast recipes work particularly well for this, like breakfast burritos, muffins, and casseroles. If you do struggle with having time in the morning and meal prep is not feasible, try on-the-go breakfast ideas. Think of things like smoothies, yogurt, trail mixes, or a high-fiber, high-protein bar. Or try thinking of things you can cook in the break room. For more ideas on this, tune into my cooking demo this Thursday where we will be trying a few different break room recipe ideas. If you're new to welcoming breakfast back in your life, remember to start slow. Trying to do too much too fast can be uncomfortable and lead to burnout, especially with fiber, which is the most important part of breakfast. It's best to start low and add slow. And finally, get creative with your meal. Breakfast doesn't have to just be breakfast food. Leftovers are great for breakfast, and they are often complete and filling meals on their own, and all you have to do is reheat. If you would like help fitting healthy breakfast into your life, schedule a nutrition consultation. I can help you tailor a breakfast plan to your needs, whether it's meal planning, troubleshooting, any barriers you might have, or even just finding foods that work for you. I'm currently offering telehealth and in-person appointments, so don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks for tuning in.